Hey guys, what's up? This is Maeglin, and today I'm going to show you a 1 versus 1 match between Rubio and Gandalf. Both players are very experienced, and I also wanted to show you this replay because, as you are going to see right now, this is a new map in 1 versus 1, at least a new one in my channel. I have never showed you before Iron Hills, and this is it. You can see Rubio is Goblins and Gandalf is Isengard. This map is pretty big for 1 versus 1, but it's kind of cool because it has a lot of passages you can go through and attack your opponent, and it also has some layers in between, so you must be very familiar with this map if you want to be competitive. I'm not sure what the resources are. I think it's 1k game. Yes, it is, and of course Rubio will use Tainted Land in order to see what his opponent is and also catch this leadership bonus for his troops while they are near his fortress. As we saw earlier, Rubio did send his builder somewhere near the top. Okay, he's making a goblin cave nearly half the way between the two players' fortresses. I'm not very sure about this tactic. I mean, you are goblins, you can use your mines to load and upload troops wherever you need them. I would simply make my barrack near my fortress, make a mine near my barracks to load my troops, and make a forward mine near my opponent to upload my troops where I want them to. And in the meantime I would be able to defend my base as well if needed. You can see Rubio of course is making a second goblin cave near his fortress. And let's see how Gandalf is doing. Of course Isengard is not a very strong army for 1 versus 1 1k game. He is starting with 4 farms and 1 barrack. He has produced 1 unit of Uruk-hais. Not the best option of course when you are up against goblins, but perhaps he doesn't know that already. I don't think he has used any of his power points. Yes, he is saving his crows to use them for defending. And here Rubio is already catching up with some farms of his. Of course Gandalf knows that he will need some archers to protect his base from the goblin spam by Rubio. And Rubio is playing really nice. He's making a spider pit right away. I don't think he will make any spiderlings. I think he will go for spider riders right away if he has the resources. And Gandalf here tries an attack on Rubio's fortress. He takes a pretty good position on his barracks. Perhaps he will take them down, but let's see how this fight will go. Yes, I think Gandalf will take down Rubio's Goblin Cave for sure. Of course Rubio does have that first Goblin Cave and he will be producing more troops from here. So perhaps it was a nice move after all, making a barrack away from your fortress. And you can see how good goblins are against Isengard in 1k. I mean, goblins are good against all armies in 1k perhaps, besides elves who have pretty strong archers. But you can see that Rubio with only 2 maybe 3 units of goblins, he took down 4 farms by Gandalf. And I mean, it only cost Rubio around, how much is it? Like 300 in total. And he managed to destroy 1200 farms, 1200 worth of farms. And in the meantime he is continuing to produce some goblins. I'm not sure what Gandalf can do here. And of course that was exactly what I was going to say. Perhaps Gandalf should play with some Warg Riders, since goblins do not have spearmen early in the game, and he would take advantage of that and destroy probably many of Rubio's buildings before before Rubio can produce some units to defend his base, but you can see Rubio is making some spiderlings. Surprisingly, I would expect him to upgrade his spider pit right away and produce some spider riders. And here comes Gandalf's first unit of Warg Riders. Let's see how this will go. Things look bad for Gandalf already. Perhaps if I was in Gandalf's place, I would wait a little bit longer to get 2 more units of Warg Riders and perhaps attempt an attack on Rubio's fortress right away. But no, Gandalf is not waiting. Of course, he is already behind in this game and perhaps waiting would be bad. So he will try to take down some of Rubio's farms, and in the meantime Rubio is trying to push his way into Gandalf's base. He has already done this with some spiderlings, but no, he will not take down Gandalf's barracks. And in the meantime Gandalf is attacking Rubio's spider pit and he will take it down. Very nice catch here by Gandalf. And of course now Rubio knows that he must be prepared for cavalry attacks, and he is making those spider holes expansion in his fortress. So from now on it will be extremely difficult for Gandalf to attack Rubio's buildings near his fortress. But nice play by Gandalf here, he managed to push back Rubio. You could see that Rubio had a barrack near this area and he doesn't anymore, so nice pushback by Gandalf. I'm not sure. I would try to make some farms around the map if I was Gandalf. Okay, he has 3 farms already and he has made the 4th one. So at this point I think it is absolutely crucial for Rubio to make his first fortress upgrade, and here it is. Of course Rubio is a very experienced player and knows exactly what he needs to do, and this is what I was telling you about. Look at how much further he is able to see now with his fortress upgrade. He can see this farm here by Gandalf and of course his Warg pit, and he can see any units coming in way earlier, and he will be able to defend against any attacks coming. And here Gandalf is playing very aggressively. He is already pushing near Rubio's fortress, and of course he knows that he will need plenty of archers to be able to hold back this goblin spam. Rubio has already upgraded his spider pit, but I think it's already too late. Perhaps it will be way too late until he produces some spider riders. At least he will need at least 3 units to defend his base. And let's see, with this unit of Uruk-hais, perhaps he will manage to take down Rubio's spider pit. No, his spider riders come right away and he will attack Gandalf's troops. And you can see Rubio is already clicking on a second unit of spider riders to come. Of course some goblin warriors are on the way, and let's see if he will manage to take it down with this unit of Warg Riders. He will need to use a hole, and he does right now. He takes a good position on Rubio's spider pit, and let's see. This is a very close fight. No, Gandalf will fail to destroy Rubio's spider pit. But nice play here by Gandalf. Like I told you in the beginning, both players are very experienced, and you could see how bad Gandalf was doing early in the game, and of course he managed to recover. And not only recover, but win some major fights, destroys most of Rubio's buildings, and eventually reached his fort. Look at how strong War Grinders are with the use of Hole. I mean, one unit of War Grinders managed to kill, to stand up against practically 2 units of Spider Riders. And in the meantime, Gandalf is coming with 2 units of Urukhais from the left side, 2 units of archers from the middle, and of course his War Grinders along with a unit of spearmen from the right side, a very strong attack. And let's see, I think he will target Rubio's Spider Pit. And Rubio, very nice play. He has used the 10 power point, the Untamed Allegiance. I very rarely see this power point being used, but here in this map you've got 2 layers of fire drakes, and Rubio has taken under control of one of them. Of course, this is a major change in Gandalf's plans. Very nice play by Rubio. Look at that, with only one use of his Fire Drake's special ability, the Inferno, he managed to kill 3 units of Gandalf. Very nice play by Rubio. I am amazed that he did think to use this PowerPoint. I mean, I have never used it in my entire life, and here Rubio not only uses it, but he uses it very nice to defend his base. But Gandalf is continuing to push Rubio. Look at how big change those War Grinders do in Goblin versus Isengard fight. I mean, if Gandalf was continuing to try with infantry units, I think he would have been dead already. And of course Rubio will continue to try to produce some Spider Riders, but of course Gandalf knows that he cannot allow that for Rubio, so Rubio is continuing to make some Spider Pits, and of course he is trying to upgrade them and produce Spider Riders, and in the meantime Gandalf is not allowing him to do so. He's not giving him any chance at all. But nice save here by Rubio. I'm not sure how those guys are doing considering money. Rubio, we can see that he has 500, and of course as a second 10 power point he has chosen the Scavenger, a very strategic move. He will have plenty of resources from now on, and Gandalf has 200, I'm not sure, perhaps he has clicked on layers to come from his fortress. You can see Rubio's Fire Drake is still alive and continuing to destroy some of Gandalf's buildings. And let's see, Gandalf is gathering a very strong force, a very large force. You can see he has 2 and 2, 4 units of spearmen and 3 units of crossbowmen. Now he has 5 units of spearmen and 4 units of crossbowmen. I'm not sure how he will choose to attack with this amount of force. I would definitely would have chosen Lerch to come along with my troops in order to level him up as fast as I could, and of course provide permanent leadership for my troops. And Rubio now has a second spider pit and he is producing some spider riders. He has 2 units already and 4 units of goblins. I'm not sure if this amount of force is enough to hold back such a large force by Gandalf. Let's see how this will go. You can see how good Rubio is playing. He has his goblins in front holding back the spearmen and of course his spider riders on the back. If I was Rubio, I would have switched my spider riders on sword and I would have attacked those crossbowmen of Gandalf, who are literally killing all my goblins. And the scavenger here by Rubio can be a game changer. I mean, goblins without resources are probably the weakest army, but with resources, goblins become very powerful. And you can see Rubio now has a second fire drake in his possession. Of course, he will have no trouble defending his base with 2 fire drakes. So let's see how Gandalf will react to this and how he will choose to attack. I mean, like I have told you, I am surprised that he hasn't recruited Lerch so far. Lerch is absolutely important for the Isengard army, especially if you are playing with infantry. I mean, if you are not planning to play with Lerch, perhaps you should have just made some war gliders, a tonk of war gliders, 4 maybe 5 units, and go straight for a resource, kill your opponent and then of course attack his fortress. But besides Lerch, I think Gandalf absolutely needs to upgrade his army's weapons and armors. Isengard units become a lot stronger. I mean, all units become a lot stronger with armor and weapon upgrades, but in this particular case, when you are versus goblins, you know you are going to need your, especially your armor upgrade, since you can see here how much damage Rubio is causing to Gandalf's spearmen. But here Gandalf makes a nice move with his 10 power point, the Wildmen of Dunland, and of course he is killing most of Rubio's forces, but here Rubio counter-attacked with his Fire Drake and killed most of Gandalf's crossbowmen. Nice play here, nice fight, but I think Gandalf won this one. I mean, he did kill 3 units of Spider Riders and 1 of Rubio's Fire Drakes, and he still has a pretty strong force, of course along with the help with his 10 power point, but still this is a major win and perhaps will change the game. Let's see, we are just going to have to see how this will go. Rubio is spamming goblins. He has his Spider Riders. And in regards of PowerPoints, Rubio has already reached his 15 PowerPoint, and this is very important, the middle one, so he will have either the Balrog or the, how is it called, the Drake. But I think if you're going to go for the 25 PowerPoint, Balrog of course is a much better choice. And you can see Gandalf still hasn't reached his 15 power point, so this can be this can change the game a lot. Who will reach his 25 power point first? I mean, I was surprised to reach so late in the game, but those guys are playing very nice. Both of them, you can see now Rubio is switching from defense to offense, and Gandalf of course will have to play some defense for now. Here he has his ledge and he is electing to play with some berserkers. Of course, the fact that Rubio did manage to switch from defense to offense was a major part. The fact that he used his 15 power point, the darkness, which gives leadership to all his troops, and of course this helped him defend, and after that he did have a little more time to start attacking. And here comes Rubio's, no, those are Gandalf's wildmen again. You can see how fast Gandalf's power points are recharging, since he has under his possession both those two signal fires that exist in the map. Each of them is decreasing the power recharge time, so both of them, I think Gandalf perhaps he will recharge his power points around 25% faster than Rubio. At the moment I think Rubio has the advantage at this match. I mean, look at his base. He has spider holes expansions all around his fortress. He has two spider pits, both of them upgraded, and he can produce spider riders from there, and he has 3 goblin caves. I mean, Rubio's base is a lot stronger than Gandalf's. Gandalf has only his first fortress upgrade, his crows to see further, and nothing more. I mean, he doesn't even have wall hubs around his fortress. He does have some berserkers and some spearmen to defend his base, but in regards of attacking, Gandalf will find it a lot harder to attack Rubio's base, where Rubio will have no trouble. Rubio also has fire arrows on his fortress, and now he has elected to strengthen his fortress armor. So now it will be extremely difficult for Gandalf to attack his fortress. I mean, he will need a very large force to do so. I think Rubio has upgraded all his fortresses upgrades, and here let's see, Rubio did attempt an attack with his spider, of course. The fact that Gandalf didn't have any wall hubs around his fortress allowed Rubio to attack him, and I think this is Gandalf's watcher. Yes, it is. He did use it to kill some of Rubio's spiders, and here Rubio did use his worm. Bad choice if you ask me. I mean, if you have reached the 15 points, perhaps it would be wiser to use to just save another 10 points and use your Balrog. I mean, Balrog in Rubio's next attack would be the end of the game for Gandalf, but Rubio here did chose to use his worm, and of course wasting 15 of his power points. And look at this, after this attack from Rubio he has another 10 power points, so if he hasn't clicked on a worm he would have 25 power points so far. He would have the Balrog, and of course with 3 maybe 4 units of spider riders you could use your Balrog first to kill all those units around Gandalf's fort, and then attack with your Spider Riders, and with only a War Chant on them you could easily take down his fort, along the help with the Balrog, of course. And you can see what I was telling you about. Rubio has fully upgraded his fort, and perhaps he will start recruiting his Fire Drake soon. After that, I don't think that Gandalf can take down his fortress. I mean, he would need all his army, and of course with being fully upgraded, along with Lerch providing leadership and perhaps some power points to even destroy those buildings around Rubio's fortress. I think Rubio is safe for now. He doesn't have to worry about anything. And let's see, this is Rubio's Fire Drake. I'm not sure from where. I thought Gandalf had destroyed those Fire Drake lairs. Perhaps this is Rubio's Fire Drake from before. And let's see, Rubio is trying an attack. He is gathering his army at the top corner, and perhaps he will attempt an attack on Gandalf's fortress, since he does see that he has his Lerch all the way to the bottom. And Rubio has reached 20 power points so far. This will be very interesting. If I was in Rubio's place, I would choose to attack some of Gandalf's buildings first, get 5 extra power points, and after that use my Balrog before I attack. But here Rubio is careless. He didn't watch that Gandalf was bringing some spearmen and lost all of his Spider Riders. And of course Gandalf knows that Rubio was attempting an attack, and he has drawn his Lerch back, but he doesn't have any forces right now. I think Rubio will go for the Balrog soon. And yes, I think this game is over. Rubio will win this match, no doubt. He has 2 Fire Drakes now, one from his fortress and the one that he had from the beginning of the game. He will have his Balrog soon enough. He will also have his Worm, his 15 power point, the Worm, and he has a pretty strong force. And here comes... no, not yet. Here comes Rubio's 25 power point. Of course it will be the Balrog, and I think we are going to see it soon enough. Yes, here it comes, the Balrog, of course, one of the coolest, if not the coolest PowerPoint. And yes, this is game over for Gandalf, but here Gandalf uses his watcher, and he does causes major damage to most of Rubio's troops. Rubio actually didn't use his Gandalf very nice, he didn't kill any of Gandalf's forces. But of course he will start attacking his fortress right now, and after that Rubio can bring some more troops and take it down very easily. I think we are going to see the breathe fire right now to kill all those units right here. I mean, Lerch is very close to dying. Yes, there you go. Here dies Lerch along with half the units of Gandalf, and of course here dies the rest. Gandalf still have half his health, but his PowerPoint is soon running out of time, so Rubio will need to bring some more units, which he does right now. Yes, this is game over. Very nice game. I did enjoy it very much, and like I told you from the beginning, I couldn't tell that this would be a long match. I mean, Rubio seemed to be doing fine during early in the game. I think this was going to be an easy win for Rubio, but Gandalf did play very nice here. And actually he continues to play very nice here. He has his Lerch back, and of course he will use his Carnage to defend his base. And yeah, Gandalf did play very nice here. Both the guys played very nice, a very nice match. And yeah, I mean, Gandalf maybe still have 1 or 2 minutes left alive, but this game will be over soon. I mean, the game was over from the point that Rubio started gathering up all those PowerPoints. And of course, when you are goblins, you want to play very aggressively, and one of the reasons is your PowerPoints, but also the fact that if you use Scavenger, you will have extra resources. And yes, of course, Gandalf knows that there is no point on continuing on to play the game, and he gives up. Well played by Gandalf, but even better played by Rubio. A very nice match, and thanks to Rubio for sending me the replay. He did send it to me a long time ago, so I'm sorry I did hold it up all this time. This was the only time I did have free time to upload it, and here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and more videos coming soon.